All right. I want to welcome the Annie Mac Works, Annie Mac Nation Worksaholics. Let's see here. I'm going to adjust things just a little bit. It is 5 o'clock on Wednesday, and that means that we are in the quarantined realtor. This is week 7. Give everybody a few extra moments to get in and get going. You can tell I got my little beard going here. I'm in the mountains of North Carolina. I'm going to expand my screen so that you guys can see my PowerPoint when it's time to get rolling. But my name's Russ Fitzpatrick. I'm one of the lucky founders of Annie Mac Works. That is a real estate productivity platform exclusive nationwide to Annie Mac Home Mortgage. We've got several hundred loan officers across the country working for about 60 branch managers in 32 different states, where we serve our residential real estate professionals with teaching, training, coaching, technology, a lot of infrastructure, a lot of digital marketing solutions to help you look better for your listing clients, some unique CE credit type stuff that we're doing lately, and some certifications like the Pet Friendly Real Estate Agent, the Real Estate Staging Expert designation that I'm very, very proud of. Some really cool work with the renovation lending division at Annie Mac Home Mortgage, giving them an avenue to reach out to you guys as realtors and certify you as renovation real estate professionals, helping you work with your clients more effectively. I'm going to go in here and share my screen, and we'll go ahead and get started on the, hang on now. Whoa. Here we go. Share screen. You're probably going to see me right away. And then I'm going to open up a PowerPoint for you. Let's see. Might have to edit this out. Here we go, guys. Let's go ahead and get started. Today's a special day for us. This is week 7 of the Quarantined Realtor. During the first 6 weeks, we focused on a lot of things with you guys. The number one rule was to row hard now. We're in white water, and we needed to get through that turbulence. We're in 7 weeks now of being quarantined and social distancing. But in my market, restaurants and offices are starting to open up again. A lot of stores are starting to open up again. And we hope that we will not be hit with another smack in the head by the COVID pandemic. We also focused a lot of our energy on knowing what you're doing with new ideas. We talked about soliciting sellers differently in the absentee owner program. We talked about identifying and serving clients through your seasoned leads and things like that. The most important lesson that we've been focusing on in the Quarantine Realtor is the idea that if you set aside a little bit of time for your sphere of influence, you set aside a little bit of time blocking for your absentee owner notes, a little bit of time for your geographic farm area, that all of a sudden you've got these 4 sources of business, which collectively equal some pretty important production for a lot of our realtors. Database mining and sphere of influence work, absentee owner work, this new, I think it's necessary. And I know that I could take 4 listings a month just on absentee owners in Southeast Florida. Maybe in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, it's a 1 listing a month kind of a goal, or even 4 listings a year. But there's a lot of merit to reaching out to people who own triplexes and quadplexes and apartments and or condos or single family homes that they don't live in. You'll get to know Carrie better as we get to know you better through Farming Fridays, our coaching programs. And then we did a lot of work with the seasoned leads during Quarantine Realtor. In total, we've met 5-6 times last week with Vincent Gui, and then today's week 7. And the reason I wanted to bring you up to speed with that is that I want to focus for a few minutes on what's next in my relationship to you as a residential real estate professional, and in your relationship to Annie Mac Home Mortgage as a real estate professional. we've got a lot in store for you if you're hungry and you want to get to work. I never propose a new type of relationship without kind of giving you an indication of the type of people we're looking for. I want to talk about a new type of relationship that we can create together in a program called the Fitzpatrick Formula. Carrie and I have been inspired by the work we're doing with you in the Quarantine Realtor. We've been inspired by the letters and testimonials and thanks and gratitude that we've been getting from realtors across the country. We've been getting emails and texts from realtors across the country that have taken listings from the absentee owner notes. Oh, I'm so excited that I got a Keller Williams team leader down in Palm Beach, Florida, that only sent out 40 notes, and he was already able to take one $475,000 listing, but he got 2 additional calls that he thinks is going to turn into more listings soon. So the type of person that I'm looking for in the Fitzpatrick Formula group is someone who's hungry. I mean, if you're already doing 30, 40, 50 transactions a year and you don't need an extra 16 transactions brought to you by a lot of camaraderie and working together, then this might not be for you. But if you happen to be one of the realtors online today that have a deep, white, hot, burning desire, if you know what I'm talking about, maybe you have a sense of urgency, maybe you have a sense of need, not just a want, but a need to grow your income and production right now, the Fitzpatrick Formula is probably for you. We're going to focus a lot of our energy in the future weeks on creating more structure, more direction, more accountability. I want to create camaraderie with the other realtors around the country that are working inside of this new Fitzpatrick Formula that Carrie and I put together for you. It's only available through Annie Mac Home Mortgage. It's only available through Annie Mac Works, and it's absolutely free. So there is some commitments from you that are going to need to be made if you want to participate, but you're going to get a lot of support and a lot of mentorship through the Annie Mac Works productivity platform if you decide to pursue this particular type of relationship with us. We want to create a super producer. We know the formula to create a super producer. You may not know this, but I sold as many as 300 homes in 1 year. My average years were 160 homes a year. And one night I sold 600 homes, new construction homes, mind you, but that was probably the most exciting day of my life. I stood on stage in front of 1,200 people and I sold 600 homes in one day, if you can believe that. And it did happen. I have it on video. I also sold listings during the short sale pandemic, where we would actually smile and dial expireds by owners, absentee owners, and farm clients to get their listings. And I took 170 listings in 6 months working these systems that I'm going to share with you. So we know how to become a super producer, and we're putting a point on 16 deals a year. Now, is that 16 deals a year the highest producer in the world? No. But if you currently do 6 or 8, and we add an extra 16 deals a year, closings per year, fundings, baby, this conversation is growing towards, and what I want you to understand about our intentions. We're not looking for lazy people. We're not looking for apathetic people. We're not looking for people that are filled with excuses. We're not looking for top producers that already know how to do the job and could do it in their sleep. We're looking for hungry realtors that have a sense of urgency to grow, that need to grow. So I'm going to define what that means. Agents that close less than 16 transactions a year currently are usually a little timid about putting time and effort into something unless it's proven, especially putting money into it, right? So you're an agent who sells 6 or 8 houses a year or 10 houses a year, and somebody asks you to spend $1,000 a month on something, man, it's a pain in the neck. You can't really decide, because until you personally have the belief until you personally have the conviction, you don't have enough confidence to set aside that time and or money, because you can't correlate a specific result that's going to come out of it. You know what I mean by that? You might be somebody that's tried a farm for a couple of months, or you've tried a particular ad campaign or a pay-per-click campaign and it just didn't work out for you. And then you're reluctant to go in and try real hard over an extended period of time unless you can correlate it to a specific result, you know, an expectation of return. So with that in mind, we want to focus on things that are already proven, that you don't have to reinvent any wheels here, that you don't have to you just copy what we're doing. The other sentiment that I want to share is after maybe 25 years as a real estate coach and a real estate trainer, I really believe that training is not enough. It's not enough to instill that sense of conviction in you, that you feel certain that if you do this work, you're going to get this return. So you go to a one-off training, it's a half hour, and maybe a couple of you cherry pick a couple of items out of the training and you might use some of it. But this is a different relationship altogether. We're talking about taking some best practices that are proven. Hundreds and hundreds of realtors from across the country do this right now to make money, backing it up with hard evidence, and then the support of a mentor and a team and from other agents to help you get the confidence and conviction that you need to take action. I want you to think of this as a coaching program and see if you really want to get involved in coaching. The Fitzpatrick, a community of super producers that are all working together to add 16 extra closings a year. And if you think that's a worthy ideal, get on board, baby, because we're going to do it together. I'm going to show you how right now. There's a commitment that you have to make. If you'd like to participate in the Fitzpatrick formula with Carrie and I and a couple hundred realtors from across the country, you're going to need to make a commitment. That means that you volunteer if you want to participate or not. But once you decide to participate, then you've got to commit to following through. So the participation is voluntary, but the follow through is going to be mandatory. You're not going to be part of this group if you're not willing to move forward with action steps. I believe that accountability is the secret ingredient that creates positive, lasting change in any environment. So you're going to have to be open to being accountable to certain tasks and certain work within the confines of this private group. We're not going to chastise you personally in front of other people, but we're going to hold you accountable or we're going to move you on out of the group. Does that make sense? We can't hold you accountable. We can't achieve anything together. The action items that we're going to give you inside of the Fitzpatrick formula are going to be action items that are easy to implement. Nothing costs a lot of money, and they're going to be very concise in the way that you execute them. They're going to be short work bursts, little short work bursts that are going to take your production to the next level. And then the last commitment that you're going to need to make if you want to move forward with the Fitzpatrick formula is you're going to need to commit to sharing your experiences with the rest of the group. You're going to share your challenges. You're going to share your stories. You're going to share your testimonials. You're going to share your frustrations. You're also going to share obstacles and hurdles that you're trying to overcome with the group. And you're going to ask questions of the group. A couple hundred agents from across the country, like-minded professionals working together. And then you're going to have one accountability partner and one coach. Your coach and your accountability partner are going to work together to get the closings per year. There will be, I promise you, no cold calling. You will achieve a six-figure income from those additional 16 closings, with the exception of some very, very affordable housing markets where you do 16 closings at less than $5,000 each. You might be just under six figures. our rationale there is that your cost of living is probably a little less too. So maybe if you were in a higher price point market, the six-figure number is a mandatory, but if you're in a lesser expensive community, maybe, you know, $75,000 or $80,000 will do it for you. But the other joy of my life, and you could tell if you could see where I'm at right now, I'm in the mountains of North Carolina at our vacation home. I've made a life over the past 34 years taking 12 vacation weeks a year. And you've ever heard the term work hard and you can play hard? Well, that's a pretty good summary of my interpretations of the opportunities that are in front of you in the real estate industry. I've been to Europe 5 or 6 times. I've been all over Italy and Ireland and the islands and Caribbean. And, you know, I've had the most extraordinary life for 34 years with that silly little real estate license, the same license you have. I've put 5 kids through private school and 4 of them through college. I've got 2 graduating right now, becoming an empty nester where my travel will even get greater. Some of you know last year I took a 7.5-month trip from Key West to Alaska, and made it all the way up into British Columbia and up into the Canadian Rockies, and just had a blast. The reason I spend a moment on that with you is the 12 vacation weeks per year is part of the Fitzpatrick formula. When you do what you're supposed to do for 40 weeks out of the year, you get to take 12 vacation weeks a year. When you fail to do what you're supposed to do during the 40 weeks, then you don't get to take 12 vacation weeks a year, and you probably don't end up with a great holiday season. You probably don't have great vacations. You probably don't live in a great house, and you probably don't drive a great car because you don't do what you're supposed to do during the 40 weeks. So at the risk of being a little melodramatic, if you will, work-life balance is very, very important to me. That having my time and effort produce a measurable return has been key since I was 18 years old and first got my real estate license. I was hypersensitive to the minutes that I invested, and that each minute that I put into a day had a return on its investment. So here's what's required of you if you'd like to participate in this new type of relationship called the Fitzpatrick formula. You're going to have to commit to 10 focused work hours each week. There'll be no cold calling and there'll be no expensive marketing to do, but these little tasks will be built into work bursts, and then you have to complete those each week or you can't be part of the Fitzpatrick formula. You also have to commit to 1 30-minute call with your coach and your accountability partner. What does that mean? We're going to pair you up with an accountability partner somewhere outside of your market. And then once a week, you're going to get on a call with your coach and your accountability partner to wrestle with some of the challenges that you're facing during the week. And then eventually our relationship will blossom where you'll meet with your accountability partner one week and your coach the next week. Your accountability partner one week, so to become a bi-weekly ritual. And then as your relationship matures, you'll become what's called a monthly coaching candidate. We'll start having monthly conversations rather than weekly conversations. And the only other thing that's required of you, and I said this once before, I can't do it by myself. I need support from the group adding into the conversation in a private group on Facebook called the Fitzpatrick Formula. We're going to really try to build some camaraderie, mentorship, and structure. It's always been my theory that an average agent underestimates what they can do in a year and overestimates what they can do in a month. They start a new project and they think, oh my gosh, I'm going to take 3 listings in a month. And it's almost immature the way that they perceive the time-space continuum in residential real estate. The work that you do in May of 2020 will pay dividends in July, August, and September in 2020, but too many realtors don't understand that. So they're consistently disappointed in their results. The super producers that I know, people that consistently close 16, 20, 30, 40, 50 deals a year, they're completely different than average agents. they don't measure results on a monthly basis. They measure results over a longer period of time. What they do measure is their tasks. They have certain tasks that they specifically work on each week, whether it produces or not that week. They're consistently working on it over time. And it's the consistency and the accountability of those focused tasks and performance benchmarks that really create and generate their revenue. So you need to kind of put yourself on one side of this continuum or the other. Are you the kind of person that manages results on a weekly or monthly basis in real estate, so you're constantly disappointed in your income and your results? Or are you the kind of person that holds yourself accountable to tasks without regard to production, so that the tasks are getting done every single week without fail through time blocking and accountability, and then the results of your income changes exponentially over that snowball building time? I like to say that the moment of commitment, the universe conspires to assist you. At the moment of commitment, your accountability partner will conspire to assist you. At the moment of your commitment, I will conspire to assist you. In fact, your mortgage professionals at Annie Mac Home Mortgage will also conspire to assist you. And I'll bet you a good steak dinner anywhere in the country that when you make a commitment like this, your broker owner and your spouse will further conspire to assist you. You know, maybe your broker takes X level of interest in you and your career today, but when you make a commitment, the brokerage goes, wow, this kid's on fire now, or this lady's really killing it. She's really going to work now. She seems like a different type of realtor altogether. Her shoulders are back, her chest is out, and she's got a sense of urgency about her now that she didn't have just a couple of months ago. Never underestimate the power of your commitment to affect how the universe around you, how the people around you, how your spouse and your children see you and your career. At the moment of commitment, the universe conspires to assist you. So if you're going to commit to this new type of relationship, you're going to join the Fitzpatrick Formula group on Facebook, and you're going to be sharing your journey with us. This is the forum that we're going to use the rest of our realtor relationship formula coaching application. It's already on the private group, so you just download it, fill it out, and email it to service@anniemacworks.com. That's our email address at anniemacworks.com. Service@anniemacworks.com. So if you're somebody who wants to make a commitment, if you're somebody who's hungry, who has a serious sense of urgency, a white hot burning desire to take their production and income to the next level, go ahead and join the private Facebook group on the Fitzpatrick Formula. Go ahead and fill out your application. And then over the next week, as you see people joining the Fitzpatrick Formula group, it might only be a handful this first week. I don't know. I'm not really counting on everyone joining. I don't need everyone to join. I'd rather have 6 committed people than 60 people that are half committed. You know what I'm saying? So making a dramatic positive impact in someone's income and their career gets me excited. It gets me inspired. But working with people that are apathetic or a little lazy or a little uncommitted, that doesn't interest me. So I'd rather have 5 or 6 than 60 or 70. If they're the right 5 or 6, we can really move mountains with some committed people. But lastly, you're going to be asked to identify on the Facebook private group and kind of identify your accountability partner. If you don't have any success, we can assign someone to you, but you'll be talking once per week for 30 minutes for the foreseeable next several weeks, and then once every other week consistently for another couple of months. And this accountability partner can really be an important ally, like a sponsor in addiction therapy or like a workout partner. You've got that person that understands you're like-minded professionals and has your best interest in mind. Your job is to identify an accountability partner. I'm going to make a suggestion. Pick an accountability partner that's outside of your market. Don't pick someone in your office, even though you're besties, your best friends, BFF. Don't do that. Pick somebody who's across the country, across the state, somewhere else, because you want to bring in new and different perspectives, not just sit with your same little cliquish, pals that you always buddy around with. You really want to get out of your comfort zone with this account. I hope that you feel the intention of Annie Mac Works and myself and Carrie in the new Fitzpatrick Formula relationship. I know firsthand, whether it was sports or academics or business, that a coach for me has always been a person that can get more out of me than I can get out of myself. I consider Floyd Wickman a friend. I was coached by Floyd Wickman. I was coached by Craig Proctor. I was in a relationship with Mike Ferry for many years, and I did the Brian Buffini program. I know that a coach is definitely someone that can get more out of you than you can get out of yourself. So I want you to consider this Fitzpatrick formula. Maybe it's your first foray into coaching. Maybe you've never been in a hands-on accountability and business development coaching relationship. But having said that, I want you to know what's going to be required of you very specifically. You're going to do 2 hours each week working on your sphere of influence. That's your database, your friends and family, alumni from your high school or college, your fraternity brothers or sisters. You're going to do 2 hours working within your database and your sphere of influence. You're going to do 2 hours each week working on the most profitable program I've ever worked on in residential real estate, which was my absentee owner program. You're going to spend just 2 hours a week doing that. You're going to spend 2 hours each week creating buyer relationships. I'm going to show you free and very, very cost-effective ways to produce buyer leads. Some of you don't know, I produce buyer leads every single day right now through many, many avenues that I'll be teaching and sharing with you. Some of them are absolutely free. Some of them are just dirt cheap. Some of them are expensive, and you can decide how you want to proceed. And then the big commitment is you're going to be spending 4 hours each week greeting buyers and sellers that come to see you. So in total, there is a 10 focused hours of work that has to be completed each week to participate and move forward throughout the Fitzpatrick formula. If you're not somebody that can allocate 10 hours each week to earning $100,000 a year, then I probably can't help you. So just being straight with you, it's going to be hard to make $100,000 a year if you can't work 10 hours a week on something, right? So that's what we're requiring of our constituency, if you will, or the Fitzpatrick formula group. You're also going to be required to look on a regular basis. You're going to be required to be coachable. Your coach is going to be speaking to you once a week for the foreseeable future. Then it's going to bump to bi-weekly. Then it's going to bump to monthly. But once it's once a month, it'll be ongoing from that point forward. You're also going to be required to be accountable. That means that your accountability partner and you are going to talk once a week with your coach together for the first few weeks. And then it's going to switch to that pulsing on and off bi-weekly with your coach, bi-weekly with your accountability partner. That'll start to happen as we get further into the relationship. So then it'll become monthly as well. So I'm going to invite you one last time to join us next Wednesday. We're going to end the relationship called the Quarantine Realtor. And every Wednesday at 5, we're going to be meeting for the foreseeable future with a program called the Fitzpatrick Formula. Join the private group on Facebook. Make your application on Facebook. We need to get that application to bring you into the Fitzpatrick Formula private group. And then we need you to identify on your own in the Facebook group your accountability partner that you're going to kind of seek to build that relationship with over the next few weeks. You're going to have to message or post or reach out to somebody who wants to be your accountability partner inside of the Fitzpatrick formula. So my name is Russ Fitzpatrick. I'm one of the lucky founders of the Annie Mac Works real estate productivity platform. Can't thank the Annie Mac Nation enough. All the great loan officers across the country, from sea to shining sea, all the great branch managers who are supporting you as realtor referral partners. And a great big thank you to Ryan Cuby and Joe Panabianco for their vision with Annie Mac and how to work more closely with their realtor referral partners. Again, my name's Russ. I'm really happy to be involved. I'm inspired by the opportunity to work with you personally and a little bit more camaraderie, a little bit more structure, support, and direction. And hopefully you'll list me as one of many mentors that had an influence on creating positive, lasting change in your income and your career. So thanks very much. We'll see you next week on Wednesday. See you guys.